Hi, my name's Phil. Shakespeare said it best when he says, to be or not to be? That's the question. But what we're talking about is back buttering tile.
The reason for this test is to see if there is a visual difference of thinset coverage between tiles that are back buttered and not back. We'll be looking at Hardiebacker, self-leveling compound, and Durock. We're also going to be using Noble Steel, regular plywood, and then of course Ditra from Schluter. The phrase back buttering means to apply a skim coat of thinset to the back of each tile using the flat side of the trowel. The purpose of this is to try to achieve 100% coverage. Okay, we'll be installing 2 tiles on each of the substrates. One will be dry, the second one will be back buttered. Now let's begin. We actually start by keying in our modified thinset into the substrate. We're doing that to make sure that we get a good coverage on our substrate. We'll come back and then we're going to use the notch size of the trowel. After we've done that, we make sure that we back butter the tile. Again, just spin it on our tool. And then we'll be setting it into the wet thinset. Make sure we push forward and pull back to try to collapse the combs. Second tile, just be dry set. We'll be doing that for each one of the 6 different substrates. As per Schluter's instructions, we're going to be using an unmodified thinset here to set our tiles on our Ditra. The reason being is that Ditra is waterproofed and we would be trapping moisture when we're using a modified. So as per their instructions, we use an unmodified and it'll mechanically bond our tile to the Ditra. Once again, we're going to be back buttering our tile to make sure that we get 100% coverage of our thinset on our back of our tile before we set it into our comb surface. Okay, now we've set 2 tiles on each of our substrates. We're going to allow the thinset a full week to cure. And we'll come back and we'll remove the tiles. Okay, it's been a full week now. We've allowed our thinset to cure. We've got miscellaneous tools here that we're going to be using to remove their tiles. Okay, we'll be starting with the tile that was not back buttered on the Durock. As we pull it up, you see that we have the voids underneath the tile. Next, we move to the one that was back buttered, and we found that it was obvious that there was more effort required to pull up that tile. And as it came up, it actually pulled up some of the Durock with it. Next, we move to the tile that was on the self-leveling compound. Again, the non-back buttered showed voids underneath the tile. The second tile, same as the first, took far more effort to remove the tile that was back buttered. came up in pieces. Okay, we move to the Hardiebacker. That one again, we started with the tile that was not back buttered. As we pulled it up, visual voids on the bottom of the tile. Moving to the tile that was back buttered, same as the first two. Much more effort needed to remove the tile. It's obvious the reason that we put 100% coverage of the thinset to the backs of the tile is so that we have a more permanent installation. Moving now to the Noble Seal, the unback buttered tile. We see that it actually pulls the thinset off of the membrane. But then again, we still see that there are voids underneath the tile that was not back buttered. The tiles that were back buttered, still 100% covered. Moving to the plywood, voids underneath it. The second tile, when we remove that, you see that the thinset didn't even stick to the plywood. Okay, now we moved on to the Ditra. We started with the tile that was not back buttered, and actually this one surprised me. I did not expect that the thinset would be drawn out of the waffle backing on that tile. So we moved to the one that was back buttered, and the only difference I see here is that it took much more effort to pull up that tile. Because the Ditra is mechanically bonded, apparently that's why the thinset comes up with the tile. In conclusion, we did find that there is a visual difference between a tile that is not back buttered and one that is back buttered. So of course, by creating 100% coverage of the thinset to the backs of each tile, we're giving the best case possibility for successful and a long-lasting tile installation.